Yo, what's up? Bob here. If you watched my video last week, you may have noticed that there is a new piece of gear here in my listening room. There were some comments made about it, and I thought I would go ahead and address the elephant in the room. You see, a few years ago, me and Jeffrey Lee Puckett made a video about a turntable that he had just received. A VPI Scout 1.1 with a unipivot tone arm. That table is right there. You see, Puckett has a clear audio turntable that his whole system is sort of tuned around. And no matter how much he tries to get away from that, he always kind of goes back there. But from the moment I heard this table, it was kind of up here in my head as something I wanted to have for myself. So I was on the phone with Jeffrey Lee and I was telling him, I'm thinking about getting a Scout. And he said,
"Hold on, Baba Louie.
I'll sell you my Scout for the nice price. Without hesitation, I told Jeffrey Lee to bring the table over and we would do the deal. You see, audio gear, nothing depreciates like it. Nobody wants to talk about it. We're all in denial about it, but it's very difficult to sell high-end audio gear. There's only so many audiophiles in your area, and once you get into shipping and all that, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. If you know the history and how something's been treated, used is the way to go because you're going to get it for a much better price than if you bought it brand new. Puckett bought the table used, then I bought it from him. We do know the chain of ownership on the table. Puckett brought it over. We set the table up, which was super easy thanks to VPI. Each table ships with one of these little cartridge alignment tools. You just pop it on the platter, you put the spindle through this hole. There's only one point that you have to line it up with, and it's perfect every time. Each one of these little tools is designed specifically for the table it comes with. We already knew the details of the cart, the tracking force, and all that. It was super easy setup. My cartridge on that table is a Grado Opus 3. That's a moving iron cartridge with a maple body. It's kind of their break-in to their mid-level cartridges. I always liked the cart, but on the VPI table, it has a level of detail and depth I didn't know the cartridge was capable of. It's really pretty astounding. Once me and Puckett got it set up, we listened to the Thorns for a while through the deckware. Sounded amazing, but then we thought we should listen to the VPI through the deckware. So we plugged it in, and it was immediate goosebumps for both of us. The Thorns is now plugged back into the classic configuration. Thorns into the Pass 3 phono stage. And the VPI is now into the deckware phono stage. Just a beautiful, detailed, fat sound. A lot of depth. With these big mini fridge sized horn speakers, the imaging is very nice and incredibly holographic. Now, of course, people can spend as much money on a rig as you can imagine. I just need something that I think sounds amazing. And that's where I'm at. So, I pulled some records to test the new table, and I thought we might talk about some of those for a second. From the legend that is Scott Parvin, sent me a care package right before the holidays. He sent me basically a stack of really funky jazz and soul records. This one was included. It is a Marty Bracey record called Mystic Heart. There's only one pressing of this record. This is it. Japanese record. It was recorded in Japan, released in Japan, has an Obi strip. A very Steely Dan sounding record. Really funky, really jazzy. There's some vocal tunes, some instrumental tunes, but ultimately I think they were definitely pushing for that Steely Dan sweet spot. They took a lot of care recording this. Awesome sounding drums, big fat bass. Nicely done. This is a beautiful sounding record. It is on Agartha. It found itself right at home on the platter of the VPI. There's a lot of ear candy on this record, and I was hearing everything it had to offer. Beautiful record. Thank you, Scott. Next, there are some people here in the VC that have been praising this group of records from Mobile Fidelity. I'm of course talking about the Miles Davis reissues from MoFi. These have been heralded as the best sounding Miles Davis reissues, so I thought I would try one out with one of my favorite Miles Davis records, In a Silent Way. This is a beautiful sounding record. I have very clean originals of almost every Miles record at this point, and I have to say, yeah, these are very nice. The A-side, Shh and Peaceful, incredible sounding. I put up a video of it on my Instagram page, just playing through the thorns and the deckwear, and my lord, super detailed sounding. You're getting all of the instrumentation. Incredible soundstage. I mean, these are very nice. I am tempted to go and get more. Sometimes I do like to pull this. The last contribution from David Bowie before he passed away, Black Star. This is a beautiful record. An incredible record. David Bowie really had something to say on this. Unlike other legacy acts that are putting out geriatric attempts at relevancy, this was exactly what David wanted to make for his last offering to the public, and it is an extraordinary piece of art. Incredible. I listened to this front to back several times. If you know anything about this record, there's a lot of New York jazz guys on here, virtuosos, and they're really getting after it on here. David singing beautifully, expertly recorded, beautiful sounding record. Lots of incredible drumming, fat bass. Speaking of the Rolling Stones, I pulled this. The Rolling Stones, Miss You, 12-inch single on pink vinyl. That's right. I don't normally like to get 12 inches because it's a redundancy in your collection, and I don't like to have too much of the same stuff. That's it. The Miss You on here is 8 minutes and 26 seconds long, produced by the Glimmer Twins, and mixed by Bob Clearmountain, yes, who is a genius mixing engineer. So this sounds really good. Incredible bass line on this. Just kind of a relentless, unforgiving bass line. Just, you know, I mean, it's really kicking. This sounds really good. Sometimes 12-inch records, singles, if you will, have kind of audiophile versions of songs that just sound okay on the record. So if you see a 12-inch of one of your favorite tunes, you might pick it up. Last but not least, I went with a Stone Cold classic. Possibly the most sonically superior Pink Floyd record. This is highly debatable, but in my opinion, this record was expertly recorded. It's kind of a sensitive subject. Pink Floyd, it always is. But The Wall. Yeah. Talk about a masterclass in recording. This is it. First US pressing, dead mint, by the way. That's important because The Wall has quiet acoustic passages, big muff solos, lots of people talking like in the background of the songs, and all of the vocals are kind of doubled up on, and the bass was gigantic, the guitar tones magnificent, the vocals incredibly clear, holographic in the center, soaring here in the room. Puckett described some of our listening as akin to an IMAX experience. That said, I'm not going to go that far, but it's pretty epic. This is a beautiful sounding record. In my opinion, one of their finest recordings as far as the sonic quality goes. Pink Floyd's The Wall. I thought 2023 was going to be the year of my hi-fi system. The deckware never showed. I didn't get a new turntable. Nothing happened really. And, well, that's not true. I did get 2 different sets of speakers, but that's where it started, and then it just kind of paused. The beginning of 2024 is really started out as kind of a lot of changes over here to my rig, and I'm very pleased with it. The VPI is incredible. I don't know if it's the fact that that tone arm just rides on that pointy little bearing edge or what, but there's something about it. There's a vibe to this table. It sounds amazing. If you can find a nice used VPI table, I'd suggest trying it out. It's pretty badass. So anyway, until we meet again. That's right, folks. Bob out.